thank you for that. I really appreciate one more time to be here. Thank you all for being here with me today. Let me just take my. Okay. I am Milton. I'm a security researcher, EC-Council Instructor, conference speaker, and host of 419.io podcast, or the same hackers behind the code podcast. Basically, where I've the opportunity to interview cybersecurity professionals from around the world. And for the past several years, my work has focused on offensive security, reverse engineering, red teaming, malware analysis, and security assessments across different industries. So through this journey, I've learned one important lesson. That was, attackers don't care about your or our security policies. They care about opportunities. So today, I'd like to show you how understanding the attacker's mindset can completely change the way we approach security. So people often ask me, which certification should I pursue first? My answer is always the same. Certifications are available. They validate knowledge and help open doors, but certifications alone don't make someone a great security professional. Experience does, curiosity does, break things, understanding how they work, learning from failures. Every certifications on these slides I present many hours of study, but every penetration testing, every incident, every assessment taught me far more than any exam ever could. So my advice is it's really simple. Don't chase certification, chase knowledge. Certification you naturally follow. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll begin with discussing how offensive security has evolved. Then we'll look at reverse engineering and why it has become such an important skill. After that, we'll move into a live demonstration using DVTA and NS5, where we'll recover hard-coded credentials from a compiled application and briefly look at insecure SQL query. From there, basically, we will connect that demonstration to modern penetration testing, attack chains, business risk, artificial intelligence, and continuous exposure management. And through the presentation, I do like to keep one question in mind. If I were the attacker, what would you next? That's really, I need that to keep this question in your mind. So, because that is exactly how modern attacks think. So let's start with a simple question. How has offensive security changed over the last 10 years? If you stop to think, years ago, protecting an organization was relatively straightforward. A firewall, an antivirus, regular patching, that's covered a large part of the attack surface. But today, that's no longer the reality. Organizations rely on cloud, APIs, mobile applications, SaaS services, AI assistants, and since I think the pandemic, remote employees working from anywhere. Every technologies create new opportunities, not only for business, but also for attackers. That is why offensive security has evolved. It's no longer about running a penetration testing once a year. It's about continuously validation whether an attacker could compromise the organization today. So that shifting mindset is what we'll explore through this session. So to understand this evolution, let's compare the traditional security with modern offensive security. For many years, penetration tests followed a predictable process. Run assessment, generate the report, deliver it the PDF, and come back next year. The problem is that attackers don't work that way. Organizations change every day, new code is deployed, cloud environments involve permission change, new identities are created. If you stop to think, if the environments change continuously, security validation should be also continuous. So today, the question is no longer, can I find a vulnerability? The question is, can an attacker achieve a business objective? That is a very different perspective. Instead of focusing only on vulnerabilities, more than offensive security focused on attack paths. Instead of producing reports, it focused on reduce business risks, because attackers don't think in isolated technology or techniques. They simply look for the easiest path to reach their objectives. So what is more than offensive security? So it's more than the penetration testing. It's combined multiple disciplines that work together. Reverse engineering helps us to understand how applications really work. Penetration testing validates whether weaknesses can actually be exploited. Cloud security evaluates identities, permissions, and exposed resource. Red teaming simulates real attackers to measure detection and response capabilities. Threat intelligence helps us to understand how adversaries operate. And today, artificial intelligence accelerates research across all of these areas. And the important point is that none of these disciplines work in isolation. Attackers move naturally between applications, identities, cloud environments, and endpoints. Our defensive approach needs to be just as connected. So I like to summarize more than offensive security with one sentence. So it's no longer about find vulnerability. It's about understand how small weaknesses can become a complete attack chain. So let's see a practical example. I'm going to show you how in just a few minutes we can analyze a compiled application with Dennis Spy who cover hard-coded credentials and identify any security SQL query without you ever having access to source code. So let's move to live demonstration. Let's see here. Let's stop my screen right now and share my application here. Just a minute. So yeah. So I think that all can see my screen. So let's start here. So I have here the VTA. The VTA is open source application with multiple vulnerabilities that basically can be used to test vulnerabilities or to find vulnerabilities, whatever. And I have here my application built out to the source code, okay? And basically the VTA is this application, okay? It's a common application. We don't have a lot of functionalities, and basically it's a simple application. And my goal here is to use the NSpy to decompile my application, try to find vulnerabilities or try to find hard-coded credentials, as I said before. So let's open my DVTA executable. And how you can see, you have a lot of strings and you have a lot of resources available here. Basically, we need to check it out, you need to figure out how function here. We have here a lot of components that are vulnerable, and then we need to find here the specific condition that you show us these vulnerabilities. And then in this case, I'm looking for something that can give me hard-coded credentials. Okay, so if I go to admin, you can see here informations about basically the database access. We have, for example, here you already have one credential, basically that connects me with one FTP server with the VTA user and this password as well. And basically in this function, basically the admin page you just save an admin CSV. So let's see if we have another. Okay, we have a dvta.exe.config as well. Let's open with Notepad++. And we have here a lot of things. For example, we have a connection string for our DB connection that you use Microsoft SQL Manager and DVTA and system administrator user. And we have here basically the password that was encrypted using AES key. So okay, let's focus on right now just on this application. Like I said before, this application have a lot of vulnerabilities. So if I try to log in with this credential, I receive invalid login. But for example, if I try to log in with using a string to using SQL injection, okay, I could log in with successful with user Raymond. Okay, so I have here some informations or some options. And for example, view expense. Okay, I can add another expense here from item. Okay, task 2, and I can set it here. Okay, it's a number. Okay, that was saved. Okay, view expense. Okay, I have here. Great. So, and then if I click on backup data to Excel, okay, I can see on my download page my expense. Okay, so we have my expense here. Sure, that's okay. Anything new here? So I just did here this SQL injection that give me access with a Raymond user. So right now, as we saw before, let's go back to the NSpy. We have here this string connection to FTP server. Okay, I already have my FTP server configured here. So, and then this FTP server, you save informations inside of this folder. Okay, so okay, let's go back here. And for this application, the admin user, the user is admin, and the password is admin 1, 2, 3. Okay, so basically in this page I just have the option to backup data to FTP server. Okay, so if I click on backup FTP server, okay, success. Okay, and if you look here, the user that was used was the VTA. Okay, and the password, of course, are encrypted here. I cannot see this password here, but we already recovered this password from this string. So, and if you try to connect on FTP localhost, yeah. So, and then if I try to use the VTA, and let's take this password. Okay, I copy, paste this password. Okay, this login was successful, and if I click here, I can see the same admin CSV. So if I open this CSV, I can see the same information about the user, the item, the price, the date, and the time. So here we just is just to clarify that in few minutes. Okay, of course, imagine that this application I've downloaded from whatever, and then I decompiled its code, and this code gives me access at one remote FTP server. So and then look that if I delete this file, and if I try to see this file again, I cannot see more because I, of course, deleted. Okay, so we have a lot of options to explore here. I already knew that this application had one SQL injection, and then but you can walk through inside this application and you can see a lot of vulnerabilities. So, but this is just to show you that in few minutes you can leverage a vulnerability and can use these credentials to in this case to use this FTP server, or maybe if you can, for example, try to do something more. For example, you can try to find the key to decrypt this DB password, okay, to try to access the database. Okay, but this was just to show you how this works. Let me go back to our presentation. Let me share my screen again. So, okay, let's share screen. Okay, it's maybe okay right now. So, okay, this was our live demo. Basically, we exploited the VTA and used DNSpy to find hard-coded credentials. Okay, that was really easy. You cannot use big techniques to try to find out. So let's think about what we just did. We didn't attack a server. We didn't bypass authentication. Yes, we bypass authentication, use a SQL injection vulnerability, but let's think that we do not. We simply analyzed a complicated application, yet we recovered sensitive information that was never intended to be exposed. Now, imagine those credentials belonged to a production environment, that a single find could become to the first step of a much larger attack. This is why reverse engineering is so valuable. It allows us to understand how software really works, often revealing weaknesses that automated scanners completely miss. And once we understand that application, that the next question becomes, can these weaknesses actually be abused? Yeah, for sure. That's where modern penetration testing begins. So modern penetration testing is not longer about counting vulnerabilities. It's about understanding what an attacker can actually achieve. Thinking about our demonstration that finding hard-coded credentials wasn't the objective, was the start point. Let's say an attacker would immediately ask, do these credentials still work? Are reused? They provide administrative access. Can then be used to access APIs, cloud services, or internal systems. Every successful step creates another opportunity. That's why a penetration test shouldn't be measured by the number of finds. It should be measured by the business impact an attacker could achieve. So let's right now connect everything we have discussed. A real attack rarely begins with a sophisticated exploit. It's usually start with something small. For example, a leak credential, a vulnerable application, an excessive permission, an exposed API. By themselves, these issues may seem harmless, let's say, but together they form an attack chain. And let's start with, for example, reconnaissance, and it becomes initial access. The initial access become privilege escalation. Privilege escalations lead to a lateral movement, and eventually the attacker reach the real objective: sensitive data, ransomware, or maybe a business disruption. That's why our report shouldn't simply list vulnerabilities. This doesn't work in 2026. They should explain the complete attack path and its potential business impact. So at the same point here, every technical finds needs to be translated into business language, let's say. And I'm saying because executives don't care whether the issues is SQL injection or hard-coded credentials. They want to know what is the business impact, how likely is the attack, what should we fix first. That is why every find should follow a simple process. Basically, technical find, business risks, priority, mitigation, validation, and find vulnerabilities isn't the goal of today. Reducing risk, yes, that's really important to understand this, because a lot of people just create the PDF file and try to share with your CEO maybe, or CFO, CTO, whatever, and they only can see a lot of vulnerabilities, but they don't care. So artificial intelligence is changing cybersecurity. Both defenders and attackers are using it. AI help us review codes, analyze malware, identifying paths, and automate repetitive tasks. But AI doesn't replace experience. So it doesn't understand business context, not yet. And it doesn't replace critical thinking. The real advantage isn't having to AI. Everyone has access to it. The advantage is coming from knowing to write questions to ask, validating the answers. AI makes good security professionals faster. It doesn't replace them. A lot of people have a concern about, okay, AI in the future will replace me. I think not. This is just my personal thought about, of course. I mean, and organizations continue to involve security must involve as well. That is where continual exposure management comes in. Okay, so we have talked about reverse engineering, more than penetration testing, attack chains, business risks, and artificial intelligence. All of this lead to one important conclusion. Security is no longer a one-time activity. Organizations change every single day. New applications are deployed. Cloud environments evolve. Permissions change. New technologies are adopted. If the environment changes continuously, security validations must also be continuously. That is exactly what continuous exposure management is about. Continually identifying what was changed, validating what is exploitable, and prioritizing what matter most, and verifying that mitigation actually work. So security isn't a project, it is ongoing process of continuous improvement. So the great questions, and in the future. So where is offensive security heading? Basically, the tools you continue to involve in artificial intelligence will become even more capable. Attackers and techniques will continue to change, but the fundamentals remain the same. Curiosity, critical thinking, and the ability to adapt. The professionals who stand out want to be the ones who know a specific tool. They will be the ones who understand how technology works and can quickly learn whatever comes next. How I said before, tools change, the attacker's mindset doesn't. And before we finish, I'd like to leave you with 4 ideas. First, offensive security is much more than penetration testing. Second, reverse engineering allows us to discover weaknesses that automated tools often miss. Third, always translates technical findings into business impact. That is how we create value for organizations we protect. And finally, security, it's never finished. It's a continual process of validations, improvement, and adaptations. If you remember these 4 ideas, you have already taken an important step toward thinking like an attacker and defender like one. So I'd like to leave with you on the final message. Attackers don't think in terms of vulnerabilities, they think in terms of opportunities. Every small weakness can become part of a much larger attack. Our goal is to understand those attacks paths before they do. So keep learning, stay curious, challenge assumptions, think like an attacker, and build like a defender. So thank you so much. As I said before, AI are being used not only for attackers but for defenders as well. Right now we have basically the cat mouse game, where you can see attackers using AI to accelerate not only vulnerability discovery, but to creating new forms, to create new malwares, to create new kinds of ransomwares and stuff like that. So that's great to keep up to date, and how to. I think that it's not only to, as I said before, you need to think as an attacker, but if you are focused on in protect your businesses, I think that the better strategy is to think how to defend, because attackers right now are thinking and create multiple ways to try to avoid detections, to bypass XDR, EDIs, whatever. And then your main concern right now needs to be is how to detect them and how to fix them, or maybe vulnerabilities, how to block them, whatever. And then I think this is, in my opinion, it's the best strategy, because as I said in my presentation, I think that for red teamings or for people that work with offensive security, the main I think the main problem is try to translate it in business world. So if you wanna get improvements in your infrastructure, or if you wanna get investments using AI, or basically using AI to make decisions, you need to talk. You don't need to just show one vulnerability report for decision makers. You really need to translate it so that they can understand that they need to invest on AI, so that you can use AI to make new decisions. So, and then I think that's great. That's a great way to basically transform your technical report to a business report. Of course, you can use, if your report it's really much more technical, you really for example, you can use AI. I use AI every single day, and then sometimes I use for example, techniques to obfuscate the name of the customer, the obfuscate of the name of my businesses, and try to translate it to create descriptions, to create recommendations, and whatever. I think that is the best way. But I think that to get more investments to use AI, I think that you first need to translate for a business world. So I think this is my main message here. That's are among really, we have here three different things. The first one is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. That it's let's say it's a traditional mode. So that can be joined with offensive security. You can use both, but you can basically join it's VAPT with offensive security, with red teaming, and the blue team. Basically, right now we need to a lot of people have old thinkings about that red teamings needed to go against the blue teams. But if while this mentality exists, this doesn't work well, because we needed to first understand that vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, it's a traditional mode. Red teaming, it's the act to create an environment to simulate a real attack. Okay, sometimes using, for example, the MITRE attack to, for example, try to reproduce the APT, for example, 23, for example, try to use the kind of exercise to try to reproduce the real attack. And the blue team try to detect based on the behaviors and stuff like that. Okay, but I think that's a great way to work with that. It's using the MITRE attack, because there you have a lot of TTPs, and then you can see, for example, how to emulate APT 23, 21, whatever. And then I think that's a great exercise. Red team work together with the blue team, but we needed to understand the difference between vulnerability assessment, penetration test, and red teaming, because a lot of people have don't know the difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing it's something it's like static. And you need to, sometimes it's for example, you deploy a new application and you need to conduct a vulnerability assessment and the penetration testing. The red teaming process, it's totally different. Basically, you need to create one real environment to simulate an attacker that you have initial access, privilege escalation, lateral movement, whatever. So, and blue teams can use the same strategy that you can see inside of MITRE attack to try to detect and try to create new playbooks, for example, to try to detect real vulnerabilities or real attackers. Yeah, for me, this can be for me, that's a nightmare. I think that a few days ago, basically you saw basically what happened with OpenAI. And then, for example, right now the main problem is that the agents are being trained inside the sandbox, but they are receiving knowledge enough to sometimes to bypass the sandbox and to basically to reproduce themselves. And then this is for me, I think that can be a nightmare and in the future, because if you don't have an infrastructure to training your agents in secret way, you probably can create a lot of agents that, for example, compromise yourself or compromise your businesses. And then I think in the future, of course, you become more capable. This is already happen nowadays, and then I think that, but in the future, in my opinion, focused on red teaming or penetration testing, usually for attackers, that can be great, but for blue teamers, it can be they really nightmare. But to try to reverse this kind of encryption, to have a lot of, for example, in our case, using the VTA, you have a possibility looking for keys inside the code to try to decrypt and try to do the reverse engineering side of maybe or to create your output that you want. But definitely try to just create something without your maybe sometimes the private key, whatever. Nowadays, I think that's not possible only with quantum computing, and then you needed to have a lot of power computer to do things like that. I think that okay, in the future is probably you'll be easy, as for example a lot of protocols like MD5 that already you have a lot of weaknesses. But when I say SAT 256, that's I think that it's not an easy task. For sure. The EC-Council have a lot of programs that, for example, you can start with EHE that basically focused on essentials for ethical hacking, and then after that you can go to C8 program. That's a great C8 program. In C8 program you have 2 levels that you can go to. Let me go back to the first one. In EAH program, basically you have just a theoretical. You just have theoretical questions. When you go to the most advanced, that C8, you have theoretical questions. I think that it's 150 questions to pass in this exam, and you learn a lot of things based on many kind of ethical hack techniques. That is different from penetration testing. Penetration testing, it's another course that I will talk later. But the path is A8E, and after that you go to CH. And if you want to become a C8 master, you can do, for example, the C8 practical, and then when you achieve this plus certifications, you receive the third certification that's called C8 master. And after that, if you want to go to the penetration testing, you can, for example, do the CPENT program. The CPENT program is focused on penetration testing, and then basically you learn then how to conduct the penetration testing. You learn about roles of engagement. You're learning about stakeholders. You're learning about how to write your own report. And then I think that if you want to go to this path, you can use this EC-Council program. Yeah, for sure. And then, but as I said before, okay, we already have agents to do that. So the main problem here is to give context for the agent. Okay, for example, the agent can find, for example, hard-coded credentials. You can use, for example, Codex or Cloud to analyze this binary, to decompile this binary to find hard-coded credentials, but they cannot understand the context. Only you know the context about these credentials or whatever. But definitely you can use the agent to do stuff like that. Yeah, that's a great question. And other people ask me if in the future the job roles about pen testers you'll be gone, but I don't believe it, of course. I think that anything can replace the human, or replace the human think or the sensibility of the human have. Of course, we already have a lot of platforms that conduct penetration tests automatically, but I really this is not, I don't have afraid to in the future to lose my job for an AI agent. But that's interesting that you need to use the AI to help you in your daily tasks. Okay, so that you can have time to focus on that's really important. But I don't believe that in the future AI you replace the human thinking. Yeah, that's it. As I said before, keep learning. If you want to connect with me on my LinkedIn page. That's easy to follow me on there. It's just Milton Araújo or 19.io. You can find me easily. Connect with me there. If you have questions, please ask me, and this is my pleasure to answer all the questions. And keep learning, keep curious, and in the next week I have another session here, but talking about another things. It's more focused on penetration tests on cloud, on-premise, and hybrid environments. And if you want to stay with me, please don't forget to stay with me in the next session. Please, and don't forget to connect with me as well on my LinkedIn page.